Hello, welcome to our Are you sad? Are you hurt? Are you lost? Are you lonely? Worry no more. You are at the right channel. Welcome to Exclusive!
Welcome back, Marka X. We are now on part 2 of Lesson 1, Grade 10 Exclusive Discussion. Again, that is generating patterns and illustrating arithmetic sequence. Let's go!
In Lesson 1.1, you learn what is a sequence and how to generate the pattern of a sequence. The terms of a given sequence can be obtained by using the nth term. Thus, these are important skills needed in learning concepts related to arithmetic sequence. Common grounds. In this activity, you must count the squares or group of squares on the ground and look for a pattern that will lead to their common grounds. Answer the question that follows. Below, you will see a square or a group of squares that indicates the terms in a given sequence. For this part, we will now proceed with counting. Help me fill in the table by counting the square or group of squares assigned for each term. And with that, we will know the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth term of this sequence. Now let's begin with our counting. For our first term, how many squares do you see? There's only one. What about for the second term? We have 3 squares. Moving on to our third term, good counting, there are 5 squares. For our fourth term, we can see 7 squares. And for our fifth term, is it 9? Well done. After that, we will now identify the difference from the previous term. Here, what's the difference between 1 and 3? 3 minus 1 results to 2. What about 5 minus 3? That's also 2. 7 minus 5 is 2. And 9 minus 7 is also 2. Now, can you observe something? Let us take the numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, respectively. If you remember, these are the numbers we have counted earlier from our activity. And here's the table for you to clearly understand the sequence. And for this part, we are going to solve for the 6th and the 7th term. Let us take the first 5 terms of our sequence. Here, our first term is 1, second term is 2, third term is 5, fourth term is 7, and our fifth term is 9. For our 6th term, it is represented by the 5th term plus d, or the common difference. For our 7th term, we will obtain that by adding the 6th term plus the common difference. But before we proceed in that, we'll have to identify first the pattern from the consecutive terms. So, did you see a pattern on the sequence? What is a sub 2 minus a sub 1? What is a sub 3 minus a sub 2? Now, let's try to solve this. For 3 minus 1, that is 2. 5 minus 3 is 2. 7 minus 5 is 2. And 9 minus 7 is also 2. So, the difference between the first term and the second term is 2. The difference between the third and the second term is 2. And so on and so forth. So, the pattern is adding 2 to the preceding term to get the next term. From the example earlier, we learned that a difference of 2 is obtained by subtracting the preceding term or the next term to the preceding term. A sequence is called arithmetic sequence if it illustrates a common difference between any two consecutive terms. Suppose we want to find the sixth and the seventh term of an arithmetic sequence given the first few terms. How do we get them? Let's have our first example. Find the sixth term of the sequence 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Now, how are we going to solve that? Here, we have to find first the common difference of the sequence. So, finding the common difference is subtracting the two consecutive terms. In this case, we'll make use of the first and the second term. So, we have D, or the common difference, is equal to A sub 2 minus A sub 1. Our second term is 3 minus first term is 1. The difference between 3 and 1 is 2, and that's our common difference. If you want to make sure, you can also check other terms. For example, we have 7 and 9, the consecutive terms. So that would be our fifth term subtracted by our fourth term. So what is 9 minus 7? And that still results to 2. So we're pretty sure that the common difference here is 2 and the sequence is consistent. Now I think we're ready to solve for the sixth term. That would be A sub 6 is equal to the fifth term plus the common difference. What is our fifth term? That is 9. So you copy or substitute 9 plus the common difference 2. 9 plus 2 results to 11. And there we go. Therefore, the sixth term of the sequence is 11. For the second example, you're asked to study it on your own as found in your module. Now let's proceed. On the other way around, the preceding term or the next term of an arithmetic sequence can be obtained by adding the common difference to the preceding term. Now remember, for the common difference, we represent that with a small letter D. Moving on to our third and last example. Find the fifth and the sixth term of the arithmetic sequence 3/4, 3/2, 9/4, and 3. So here's a table for you to clearly understand the sequence. So we have here our first up to the fourth term. For the fifth and the sixth term, it is represented by A sub 4 plus T and A sub 5 plus T. Now, for us to solve for the fifth and the sixth term, we must need to solve or find the common difference. For us to solve for the common difference of the sequence, remember that is subtracting the preceding term by the preceding term. So let's start solving. Here, that would be, let's start with the second term subtracted by the first term. So you copy, that's 3/2 minus 3/4. Get the LCD, which is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2, times 3 is 6. Now, since they have the same denominator, you can simply copy that. 6 minus 3 is 3. Copy denominator 4. So our common difference is 3/4. Let's try the other consecutive terms. A sub 3 minus the second term, that is 9/4 minus 3/2. The LCD would be 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1 times 9, that's still 9, copy minus sign. 4 divided by 2 is 2 times 3, that's 6. 9 minus 6 results to 3/4. So, I think we're done solving for the common difference. Since we already know the common difference, I think we're ready to solve for the missing terms. Let's begin with our fifth term. Here, that would be A sub 5 is equal to the fourth term plus the common difference. What's our fourth term? That is 3. So you substitute 3. And our common difference was 3/4. Now get the LCD, and that is 4. 4 divided by 1 is 4 times 3, that's 12. Then you copy plus 3. And what is 12 plus 3? That is 15 over 4. And there we have it, our fifth term. Now let's have our sixth term. For the sixth term, we have a sub 6 is equal to the fifth term plus the common difference. Our fifth term is 15 over 4 plus the common difference 3/4. 15 plus 3 is 18. We can directly add since we have common denominator 4. Now, can we simplify our answer? Yes, they have a common factor 2. So we can divide both the numerator and denominator by 2. And therefore, our sixth term is 9 over 2. There we have it. We're done for our third example.
If you find the lesson confusing, feel free to hit the replay button. Replay! 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 Replay!